Good morning. This is Ann Stern from the Lakes. And this morning, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Revelations chapter 3. In this chapter, Jesus is talking to us, and he is actually talking to three of the churches that had been founded. The first church is the church of Sardis, and they have made for themselves a church that looks great from the outside, but it's spiritually dead. And Jesus is really admonishing them, saying, you were alive at one time, now you just look good on the outside, but your inside is dead, and you need to get back to me. And I just wonder, when I look at the churches in America today, how many of the churches are just going through the motions and they are no longer spiritually alive? They have moved away from God's truth, and, you just wonder, what is Jesus going to say to them? It isn't looking good for them. Then he talks about the church in Philadelphia, and that church, although they've been destroyed by earthquakes and a lot of natural disasters, they have kept the faith in Jesus. They have stood firm and really have done a good job. So Jesus is saying, keep up the good work. And he talks about a great time of tribulation, and he says, you know what? If you have such strong faith, I'm going to protect you. And so, I kind of almost, if I read this here, this is from Revelations 3, verse 10. Because you have obeyed my command to persevere, I will protect you from the great time of testing that will come upon the whole world, to test those who belong to this world. Look, I am coming quickly. Hold on to what you have, so that no one will take away your crown. So Jesus is saying, we really need to stand strong in him, and he will be our protector. And the third church that he talks about in this church is the church in Laodicea. And that church, it's neither alive nor is it dead. He calls it lukewarm. And he said, I'm going to spit you out of my mouth, because they have grown. It's a very wealthy area, and they've learned to depend on themselves and not on God. And, they may make lip service to Jesus, but they are not truly following his teachings. And they've become passive over the years. And he really, he wants a church that's on fire for him, not one that is just lukewarm and not willing to be engaged. So I think today we need to look at these three churches and think about, what do we want our church to look like? And what would Jesus say about our church if he were addressing us in Revelations? Thank you so much for joining me this morning. This is Ann Stern from the Lakes.